Welcome to our podcast on first and second language acquisition, directed and created by John Ronnie Tadeo as one of the requirements for week 3 in his class EDUU 526, Theories in Language Structure and Acquisition under Miss Kimberly Morrison. I'm Sam and I'm joined today by my colleague Ronnie. We'll be exploring the fascinating processes of how humans acquire their first language as children and how we learn additional languages later in life.
Thanks, Sam. Let's start by discussing the stages of first language acquisition, or L1. Children typically go through several predictable stages as they acquire their native language, starting from birth and continuing through early childhood.
That's right, Ronnie. The process begins with cooing and babbling in infancy, progresses to single words around age 1, two-word combinations around 18 to 24 months, and then more complex sentences as they approach school age. It's a gradual process that occurs naturally as children are immersed in their linguistic environment.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to second language acquisition, or L2, the process can be quite different, especially for adults. L2 learners often go through stages like the silent period, where they're absorbing the language but not yet producing it, followed by early production, speech emergence, and then increasing fluency.
That's a great point, Ronnie. While there are similarities between L1 and L2 acquisition, such as the need for comprehensible input and the gradual development of language skills, there are also significant differences. For instance, L1 acquisition is largely subconscious, while L2 learning often involves more conscious effort, especially for adults.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the role of vocabulary in both processes. In L1 acquisition, children naturally pick up words from their environment. For L2 learners, vocabulary acquisition is often more deliberate and can be a significant challenge.
That's true. Teachers play a crucial role in both L1 and L2 acquisition. For L1, teachers help expand vocabulary and improve language skills. In L2 contexts, teachers need to provide comprehensible input, create opportunities for meaningful communication, and offer appropriate feedback.
Parents also have important responsibilities. For L1, they provide the primary linguistic input and interaction. In L2 situations, parents can support learning by encouraging practice and exposure to the target language outside of formal instruction.
Ronnie, what would you say are some of the main challenges in L2 acquisition?
Great question, Sam. Some key challenges include interference from the first language, age-related factors that can affect pronunciation and grammar acquisition, and the need to learn not just the language, but also cultural norms and pragmatics.
Those are excellent points. Now let's consider how we can apply this knowledge in a specific context, like an Algebra 2 class with L2 learners. What strategies would you suggest?
For Algebra 2, I'd recommend 3 strategies. First, use visual aids and manipulatives to help explain abstract concepts. Second, incorporate language objectives alongside math objectives in lesson plans. And third, provide opportunities for students to discuss mathematical concepts in pairs or small groups, allowing them to practice both language and math skills simultaneously.
Those are great suggestions, Ronnie. To wrap up our discussion, let's mention a couple of key sources in this field. Stephen Krashen's work, particularly his book, Fundamentals of Language Education, has been influential in understanding both L1 and L2 acquisition.
Absolutely, Sam. Another important source is the 2014 MIT study mentioned in our research, which highlighted the differences in how children and adults approach language learning. These sources provide valuable insights into the complex processes of language acquisition.
Thank you, Ronnie. This has been a fascinating discussion on L1 and L2 acquisition. We hope our listeners have gained a deeper understanding of those processes and how they can be applied in educational settings.
Indeed, Sam, understanding these principles can help educators, parents, and language learners themselves navigate the challenges and opportunities of language acquisition more effectively. Thank you all for listening.